Welcome back. Okay, I know what y'all are thinking. What? Voyia uploaded twice? Look, I told you guys, I am going to try my hardest to get uploads out there as much as I can because, I don't know, I love YouTube. I hope you guys are enjoying this and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Hold on, I gotta fix something. And if not, I hope this makes your day a little bit better. And remember to spread love and positivity. We left off on this question right here. How could they have gotten their hands, the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? If one was in the nurse's office, the other was in the... No, there was a few of them. There's one in the rec room. That's one, the one that attacked Celeste. One guy, Hifumi got hit. I don't remember if he was in the library or not. You guys can correct me in the comment section below. Look, once you join this, you are family. But I don't know if it was in the library, but I do remember there's one in the not the equipment room, that little science-y area where Taka had got killed, and there's one in the nurse's office. But then there's also the question of the wet hammer that's in the repository as well. Sorry if my thoughts are all over the place, you guys.
Personally, I haven't a clue.
The wet hammer is...
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
The one that hit Celeste is definitely not big enough. I know for sure, but I don't know about the one that hit Hifumi and Taka. Those are pretty big. They could definitely have killed, especially if you also have to put in account that they may not have gotten hit just once. They could have gotten hit multiple times with it.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
Sorry. I had to go answer the door and stuff. But, you know, it don't even worry about it. I got it.
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
Absolutely, Hero. They definitely were.
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The hammer, right? The weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi. The whole picture surrounding the case won't become clear until we figure that out. Somehow, I have to find the truth. There it goes with that little laggy thingy. I do apologize for that, you guys. It comes and it goes. It just, I don't know. I looked on Steam, seeing if somebody else was Spotless Hammer. They're talking about the Spotless Hammer. I looked on Steam and everything. They don't.
What was used to kill Hifumi?
I'm just gonna let it go through.
Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Okay.
well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance!
I really don't know what to shoot this time.
Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
No, it's not. This is what we gotta shoot.
No, that's wrong.
Yay! And then it goes away. Look, see, it went away. I don't understand. I don't know what's going on.
The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
You guys, I got really scared because I didn't know if I was supposed to shoot Justice Hammer 1 or 2 until that came up. I knew exactly what it was.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
And it was this one. This is the one. Oh, no. Yeah, see, my theory was right. That someone lured Hifumi into the repository and killed him. Oh. I know y'all get on me because when I call Hifumi little, but poor Hifumi. He's an angel.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder.
Yeah.
If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off.
Right.
I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers.
Exactly.
Big ones, small ones,
And I'm assuming this is where they got the justice hammers from, because there's a lot of them missing. So.
and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the justice hammers used those as a basis for their design.
You sick, twisted people.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
This has to be somebody who is just so sick and twisted, and the only person I can think of.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
So I wasn't gonna mention it, but the game knew exactly who I was talking about in the first place. Byakuya. Sick and twisted.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
I was starting to like Hina. At first, it's not that I didn't like Hina, it's just like her personality kind of fit like your typical regular girl. But now it's not your regular girl, but you know, a typical girl that goes to school and stuff and loves all the academics and stuff that she could possibly get. And now it's like okay, she's kind of interesting once you get to know her. See, this is lesson today. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder.
She's absolutely right, though.
So
why
the
would
idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
we did talk about how we wouldn't have, there wouldn't, oh no god, I'm so tongue-tied today, how it wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but you can't tell me Hifumi killed herself. There's no way. Make your argument. Let's see what I got. A spotless hammer. No, it's not the spotless hammer. Let me see what comes up. Okay.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us,
Okay.
even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive.
Okay.
Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
Impossible.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right?
Okay.
In this case, however, there were two murders.
This. I think I'm right, and I think I have to shoot impossible. Can we really say there's no chance two people work together on this?
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us,
I didn't know if it's gonna let me keep it because I let
even
everything
if
pass
more
by.
than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true,
It is simply impossible.
Maybe. Oh, I did. So the reason why I second guessed myself. Let me calm down. The reason why I second guessed myself was because
Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
Okay, I had to let him finish talking because I couldn't remember if there was a third choice because I wasn't paying. I was paying attention, but I was looking away at the same time. So you know how like small little details can slip by.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering.
Yeah.
Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Yeah.
Risk versus reward benefit?
Makoto, keep up, Makoto. I like Makoto too, you
The
guys.
payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you.
Exactly. So there's
However,
no reason.
if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
My thing is this, is that if people were working together, it looks like that's what they're pointing at. So if people were working together, what do they get out of it? Like, I'm not trying to be like weird or nothing, but what would you get out of it if you don't graduate? Like, maybe somebody is simping over someone in here, and the only person I could think of that's simping on somebody was Hifumi simping. Oh, sweet Jesus. Did I just? No.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime.
Each have an accomplice for their crime, and they tricked Hifumi.
And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents.
Wow.
And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look.
Make it look like one person did it and killed two people.
A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
And who possibly... I think I have an idea of who they're pointing the finger at, honestly.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice.
Yep.
Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
Yep.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
Honey, Hina, there's not nice people like Sakura and Chihiro and Makoto and Kyoko in this world like that. There are people out here that are just sick and twisted. I personally believe that there's something going on. I have in my mind who I think it is. I just don't want to say nothing because I don't want somebody to go in the comments and be like, oh, yep, you're right. And I'm like, that just ruined it for me. But it's...
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
Okay, so I know he's looting. Like, I agree with him. Like, why would they choose Hifumi? But oh my god, that left a bad taste in my mouth saying that. The effort made to convince us the two murders were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning, which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separated incidents, which is true, and that's exactly what happened. Kyoko really is amazing. You just had to simp today. Makoto, you had to simp on Kyoko. Just like, you couldn't let it pass today. Although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
Not necessarily. If they give me a chance to pick, I know who I'm picking. I know who I think it is. The true murderer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions, and in the end, murdered him. In the debates up till now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all of that, yeah, they're gonna give me a chance to pick. There's only one person who seems to fit. I have to use the stuffy stuffs. It will never be you, you angel. It's only one person that it could have been. Celeste.
Here's my answer.
It has to be Celeste.
It was Celeste.
And I'm sorry if you guys hear the
So
rain.
I'm the suspicious individual now, am I?
I'm sorry if you guys hear the rain outside. It is very rainy. I'm sorry, I was looking back. It was very rainy today, so it's gonna be rainy all week.
I really do hate this kind of joke.
It was you the whole time. The game would have told me, oh yeah, you're wrong. I'm sure of it if I chose the wrong person. Or maybe not, I don't know. But you definitely.
A joke? I wonder.
You've been acting funny all the time. And for some reason, you've really been up on my radar as suspicious. And the only, if it's not Celeste, then I'm sorry for choosing Celeste. It's got to be Byakuya then. He did something else again.
So what you are saying then is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him.
I mean, didn't you not like ask him to make you tea, and then when he did it wrong, you were being mean to him? But I mean, still, you were like being nice to him a lot.
That I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot!
Celeste! Oh my goodness. Y'all know this gotta be the thumbnail. It's gotta be. I'm sorry. No, I don't want. I won't make that the thumbnail. Celeste. Oh my gosh, she's losing.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Yes.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
True. Encountering the suspicious individuals, the screaming, the paper hitting Fui's pants. Ew, no. I don't think that has anything to do with anybody but Hifumi and whatever, the paper, I guess.
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it?
They tried to pin it on you, Hero, and they ended up making it go all the way around because Makoto is so smart and Kyoko is smart. Byakuya helped a little bit. And anyways, everybody is just kind of like just so smart and did their part and stuff, except for Byakuya.
The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Only two people that mentioned him. What they should have done, I'm not trying to help the killers out. I don't think I can help them out anyway, because you know this game is all like, it's just a game. But I mean, if they really wanted to make it look believable, they should have like, I don't know, she should have had somebody else like running around in the Robo Justice, or maybe, I don't know, taped Hero's mouth or something and had him walk around, somebody else see him. But because only Celeste and Hifumi saw him, there would have been no one else.
Shush, the adults are talking now.
You know what? Always gotta say something.
Sorry.
No, Makoto. Oh my God, Makoto, you stand up for yourself.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
Yes, honey, they were tricking us. Oh, and she's like my other Chihiro. Please don't tell me Hina's gone. Nope, don't even tell me at all if something does happen to her or not.
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
What do you mean? I saw the shadow. Something moving around the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor.
Today is not together. Again, I'm losing my voice. I'm sick.
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
And when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Well, first you said, Celeste, what's wrong? That was rather intense. Sorry, let me read it like Vyaki would read it. That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. Which is something that's just way out of her character. But again, I still put in my, ow, I scratched my cheek, ow. But I still like kept in my head that maybe, just maybe, it was because she was shooken up because she got attacked. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Kafumi. Oh my god, I forgot. Yeah! He's got the weirdest little scream. I can't. Look, you guys, I could try. It's late at night, so I could try to do Hafumi's scream, but I'm sure I'm gonna wake a few people up. Huh? Well, what was that? It came from downstairs. It must have been Hafumi. He's in a nurse's all-carry register already like 4 times. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back. And then we ran back there.
It was to get us to divide into 2 groups, so that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
I wanna not leave it here, but the rain is getting much louder. I don't know if it's in the recording, so this one's gonna be short. Thank you guys so much. Remember to spread love and positivity, and always, always, always do something nice today. I don't care what it is. Go pick some flowers. Go tell somebody they look pretty today. Just do something nice today. I will see all of you guys in the next video. Bye.